So we
Boom.
should be pretty good.
All right, we're live on mine right now.
Okay, I think we're live back again, and now we should be able to go here and end the stream, and we're gonna be back here with the other stream. Not a whole lot for Octillery, so yeah, we're gonna be going in there. Maddie just needs to be a smidge louder. Okay, we'll test that out in a little bit.
All right, my stream is live. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing?
Is that? Let me know if the volume's good. I'm gonna end this stream, and we're gonna jump right into the yellow horn.
Sweet, sweet. We live, A-Fair. Yo, Sparky Skip. What's going on, my man? How you doing? Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We're going to be starting the official podcast here in a little bit. We're just getting things all set up. We're going to be definitely, we're going to be taking some questions from the viewers. It's going to be sweet.
I might have done this completely wrong.
That's not good.
I had 70 viewers, and I went for the thing to bring everyone over here, and I think I might have screwed that up.
How do you bring people from one stream to another?
I had it so that everything would have gone over.
Oh, you just changed the name and stuff?
No, not that I changed the name. So if you set up to a stream, you could go to a live redirect.
Oh, that's cool.
But I don't think I've mastered that. I thought it was going to be like a Twitch raid, and I just raided myself kind of right into the next stream. But
interesting. I got a plane flying over me. That's loud.
That's interesting.
Chen,
can everyone hear Maddie? Is his everything going well?
What up? What up? What up?
Can everyone hear this dude?
What's going on, Chen? How you doing? Hope you're having a good night.
Can everyone hear me? I'm watching on Maddie's screen as well. So let me know, chat. Let me know what's going on. Audio sounds good. Perfect. Okay, I just want to. Usually I screw this part up, and everyone's like 5 minutes in. They're like, Zach, no one could hear anyone, and I'm like, I'm actually not that like technically stupid.
Yeah. A-Fairy,
he sounds muffled to you?
A-Fairy says the volume sounds good on mine, which is good. Sounds good. I'd love to hear it.
Not super loud. Could be a tiny bit louder. He's a little muffled. I hear you fine. Maddie sounds muffled. Why is it always something? Let's see what we can get here. So sound output is going to be set to defaults. And then we're going to have this. Okay, let me know if that sounds any better. I don't know if that's going to sound any better.
Who knows? Who knows? Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Oh, the Slowpoke well, what's going on? Volume of both is good from what I'm listening to. Awesome, Slowpoke. It's different, so we're talking because Zach's got his own stream up as well, so he's making sure the audio is good on his end.
Okay, I think I might have discovered this, peeps.
All right.
So let me know. Is this good now? Is this good? We got it.
We're chilling.
Just a little bit loud. Everyone, it's too loud. It's too quiet. Let's bring this down a little bit.
Zeno, the audio. This is for Zach's stream. The audio on my stream should be fine.
Stream, so,
yeah.
Okay. So everyone on my stream, can we double check to make sure that it's that we're all good? Is it good? Is it delicious? Is it juicy? Is it moist? Is it chill?
Is it chill? We chilling? The Slowpoke well's in my stream, bro. I'm hype.
Okay. Perfect. Let's go. Awesome.
Tubu. What's up, my friends? How y'all doing? What's up, my bro?
I think what I think I didn't set it, so I realized that since my mic doesn't really pick up echo for whatever reason, it's super moist. Everyone's super moist today. I hope everyone's having a super moist Wednesday. I know that I'm personally moist for the chill event tonight.
I'm pretty moist.
You're pretty moist?
I'm constantly moist, but...
Constantly moist?
Lightning Strike Gaming in the chat. What's going on? How do I win a tournament so I can sign myself to my own team? It's a good question, man.
I mean, that's how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, also shout out Lightning Strike Gaming for the sick sponsorship. Shout out to them.
For sure.
I mean, you got all those shout outs when you sign your boy. Marinated with extra sauce. Okay, let's get it.
We marinated, bro.
We basted.
We basted. My gosh.
Yeah.
I think
Okay. So
I think we can honestly we can hang out for a bit, but I don't mind just getting right into it. So whatever you would rather do.
yeah. So everyone here, we're just gonna vibe out for a little bit. I know that some people come in and they're like, why are you guys not talking about Pokemon? Why are you guys not talking about the podcast? For our recorded podcast that we're both really terrible at putting up on time and like usually get to put up a week or two late, stuff that's a little bit scary and all that stuff. We record partway through the podcast, so we get to only like direct things. We don't want to blabber on about 2 hours about like nothing or just talking to the chat like about random stuff or being moist. I mean, sure, we could be moist during the podcast too, but the audio version of the podcast is a little bit more concise. That being said, if you haven't already liked this on both of ours, give this a like. It does signal boost it to everyone. I'm liking Maddie's right now because it does help with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't subscribed to either of our channels, we're live on both Chill TCG and Zach Lesage PTCG. So I know I got some peeps here that probably don't sub to Maddie. I know Maddie's got some peeps that probably don't sub to me. Maddie and I are kind of like we're like a team. We're not Pepsi and Coke. We're kind of like
Right.
What's our team? We're like
We're a group. I don't know. We're Chillhorn, bro.
We're the hottest boy band since One Direction.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
what are we? So I kind of made the thumbnail today. Maddie's like, "What are we talking about, Zach?" We're salt and pepper. We're more like the Jolly Green Giant and something else.
And
anyways,
peanut
butter and Kelly.
Yeah, we're chilling. We're kind of like a group, right? I mean, we both started doing YouTube stuff around the same time. We both work together on a lot of content. So
we both have like literally almost the exact same amount of subs.
That's right. I got to assume a lot of our subs are the same. But if you're subbed to one person and not the other, that's just a crime. You know, you gotta sub to both of us as well as the Slowpoke Well, who's in the chat right now. You guys
shout out to
him.
Slowpoke Well. Slowpoke Well has some of the craziest content I've ever seen. Definitely puts in way more effort into the editing than Maddie and I ever could. I don't know how this man's not crazy. Apparently, like they're in super lockdown out in the UK or something like that because like this guy's like editing for like 5 days for his videos. Crazy. It's some crispy stuff there.
The music videos are on point, bro. I love those so much.
When you feature Chill TCG, they're saying that we're the Hanson boys.
I don't even
know. You're showing your age right there, Ganks.
Yeah.
You're showing your age. I know that you're above the age of 10 now.
Oh my
Slowpoke Well is crazy. It's legendary.
Yeah, he's the man.
I know that Maddie and I were talking about doing like a Pokatuber cipher or something. I think
we need a rap.
Slowpoke Well in there.
That was a joke. We're not actually. There's no way.
I thought you were serious. I can never tell these things.
There's no way I'm doing like a rap cipher, bro. I cannot. I can't keep up.
I mean, I'll go bars. I'll drop some bars.
The Slowpoke Well says...
I'm not like Gazer Beam 2K, but I'll drop some bars.
The Slowpoke Well says he's a personal trainer with no gyms. Yeah, so... It's a tough situation to be in, for sure. We got some questions already asked in my chat up a little bit ways. I can always scroll up, but whatever you want to get into it, I am down. I am 100% down to go.
Well, just before we get into it, I just want to give everyone kind of the vibe today. So, in a world where there's nothing to really talk about this week, last week we were planning on getting Danielle Tavilla to talk about some subjects. Maybe stream sniping would have been a good one to talk about then. Nowadays, this week, it's less exciting.
Yeah.
By the way, for Maddie's event is starts at 5, right? 5 Eastern?
The check-in for it?
Yeah.
Check-in will be starting at 4:30.
So check-in is going to start in about an hour, everyone. So whether or not you care about time zones, check-in starts for in about an hour. Sign up for Chill TCG 26, free entry, 200-ish battle styles packs. Lots of good stuff going on there.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be a good one. Let me check real quick. I think it's going to be a good turnout. We have over 350 already, which is registered, which is pretty huge for just a kind of typical Chill Series event. So we're probably not going to break the record like we did last week with the beach tournament where we had almost 600 people. That was insane. But we're still chilling.
If you want Pokemon Internet every single week, then it'd probably get boring. I'll put it like that.
That's true.
We got to give some registrations for some of the other events, right? It looks like they're all struggling. Like I'm not gonna lie, I felt pretty happy that Logan Crollo event, Anti's Crollo's event, whatever you want to call it. That's a weird mix-up. Never thought I would have seen that one. But they got like 170 people last night. I think that was their biggest tournament.
Yeah, that was the biggest Crollo of all time. They had the free entry, or it wasn't free entry, but they had 100 packs in the prize pool. It was a good event for sure. Battle Styles has been really good to all these tournaments. The participation's been really high.
The tournament lasts, if you make it all the way, probably about 6-7 hours. And that's if you win the events.
I would say about like 70% of the tournament or so, or 60%. It's pretty much done around like 10:30 for them, unless you make it to phase 2.
So they're about 3 to 4 hours of play for the first phase of Swiss, and then everything else is pretty rapid after that because people go to bed and stuff like that, or wake up, or however it goes. So with not enough interesting subjects to really like go over into some juicy discussions, we're going to talk about kind of wrapping up the Players Cup 3. Their players are moving on to the global finals now. We have the top 16 unannounced, by the way. We don't know exactly what the players are. I know for North America, but I'm not going to spoil it. Because I am part of the Discord server for the Players Cup 3. So I don't necessarily want to spoil it. They've asked everyone not to spoil it. You're going to see exactly what's going on there. I personally did not make it, so I'm not going to be able to two-peat this event. But there is the Players Cup 4 coming up. There's the Team Challenge wrapping up. We're in the week of the top 128.
Right.
And there's the Summer Team Challenge. So basically kind of jet skiing. You got both in the water. You got the Players Cup 3, Players Cup 4, Team Challenge 1, Team Challenge 2.
Yeah, we got a lot of cool things like happening recently. A lot of big tournaments that are about to happen as well in the next week or two, and a couple huge tournaments which just recently happened. So there's some stuff to talk about. We've been gone for a couple weeks. We took last week off for Yellowhorn, so it's pretty much, there's not like anything crazy happening, but there's definitely been some stuff that's been going on. So we'll be fine. We won't be too hard pressed for topics, and of course we have the chat to ask their questions. If you have any
questions, feel free to ask. So
that's right. We'll get to it.
Are you pressing record, Maddie?
I just downloaded after illegally, so we're gonna
okay, cool. Illegally downloading our own podcast.
We're gonna we're gonna get into it.
Do you want to kick it off, or do you want me to kick it off?
Yeah, I got it. I got you. All right. Welcome everybody to the Yellowhorn podcast, episode number 16. Now I can't believe we made it to number 16. I'm joined with, of course.
We got 15.
Are we on 15?
Boosted one.
Oh, we're on 15. You're right. Okay, my bad.
15. We got it.
All right. We missed last week, unfortunately. So been about a week off, but we are on Yellowhorn podcast episode 15. It is. Joined with, of course, Zach Lesage, as always, our co-host, professional Pokemon player. I'm Maddie from Chill TCG. Just a dude, pretty much. I run tournaments. I make some YouTube stuff. That's pretty much it. Nothing too special. We're live yet again this week on YouTube. Both of us are live on Zach Lesage's YouTube channel, Zach Lesage PTCG, and then, of course, my YouTube channel as well, Chill TCG. We're going to be talking about some things that are happening here in the next few weeks, some things that have been happening for the last week or so, and, of course, taking questions from chat, so it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I mean, like I said a little bit before, so we are live, so we're talking to the chat. So if we've already talked to you, we're also going to repeat some of the stuff for the official audio. If you haven't already checked that out, check it out. You can also follow the Yellowhorn at Twitter at the Yellowhorn. So yeah, we're going to be covering over kind of the Players Cup, blending in from the Players Cup 3 as that wraps up.
Yep.
We're at the final 16 players in the global finals. They probably play in the next couple of weeks. We won't know exactly what's going on with all that, but Pokemon will be streaming that. And they're going to be playing with Battle Styles format for those decks. So they're basically probably playing the next couple weeks, and then it's going to get aired a month later. So their decks are going to be early versions of the builds. We don't really know all the players who have made there because they're keeping it a little bit secret. And then we got the Players Cup 4 starting up later this month. Other topics include we're currently for the Team Challenge, kind of like fall, winter kind of vibe. We are in the top 128 global stores right now. So we could talk a little bit about that, some tips and tricks. And then things that might get you ready for the Team Challenge 2 Summer Edition.
For sure.
So getting that all built up. I know that Maddie didn't play in the first Team Challenge because, let's be honest, everyone, if you're from TPCI or if you're part of that, it was an absolute mess.
Yeah, or the second one. I didn't play in the second one either, unfortunately.
Well, the second one's just starting now.
No, the third. Oh, Team Challenge, you mean?
Team Challenge.
Yeah, I didn't play in either. Team Challenges. Just didn't really have the time. It was one of those things where, like, I'm really busy. I do like to play the game a lot. I just really can't commit myself to dates that are like far in the future. Especially like, though I was going to register for one for Team Challenge 2, but it was on a Wednesday night. And of course, everyone knows that I am pretty busy on Wednesday nights.
You can still sign up, bro. You don't have to play with that spot particularly. Like my Team Challenge for my local store is tomorrow for our first qualifier. But there's 4 qualifiers. You get to play in each one.
Yeah, I remember because when I was registering, I registered really late, and there was only like one open, and it was on Wednesday, so it was pretty bad timing on my part. But hopefully, I'll be able to get into the next one, and I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, the next Players Cup too, like Players Cup 4 is looking pretty sweet as well with the cash prizing. I'm probably gonna try to spend some time and actually, take that one a bit serious. Try to qualify at least, right? We'll see, but
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be. I think they did a lot of good things. I wish a little bit that their cash prizing was more in line with their in real life events.
right.
But I mean, it is a free event, so I can't necessarily complain. So just a few questions in my chat, just to kind of run through them quickly. How does one get involved with the Players Cup? They have detailed instructions on the Pokemon website.
Yep.
So I'd go for their kind of press release statement about the PC4, and I would check out there, make sure that you do all the qualifications. It's printed black and whites, and they could probably explain it a lot better than Maddie and I can, because we don't want to be responsible for you not being able to participate.
Right, yeah, we don't want to mess anything up. They do have the instructions pretty detailed. Honestly, if you just Google like Pokemon Players Cup 4, like go to the Pokemon website, they have all the info there for you.
What else do we got? Since PTCG in-person tournaments are starting back up again, do you think PTCGO is going to lose a lot of its player base? I don't think PTCG events are happening remotely soon. If I had to guess, I think they'd start up in March. Anything else is unofficial. And I mean, some friends who are playing in these unofficial tournaments, like in my area, we are in lockdown orders. I am not leaving my house. And that's for Ontario. I don't know where it's like wherever else everyone else lives, but Pokemon's not running any official events. Pokemon frowns upon unofficial events being run right now. That's the reason why they don't even have Pokemon League or pre-releases, which are they're not important events at all.
They're just like for fun events, yeah.
And so they're not even running those.
Right.
So it's one of those things where if you want to play in unofficial safe events, I would recommend playing in some of the bigger events on Limitless. So just Chill TCG on Wednesdays. But in real life events are not really happening. So I already see that people are like, where are the events happening? I don't think people want to quit. I don't think people want to quit PTCGO when in real life comes back at all.
I think I think it depends, right? Like we'll see less, like overall. Like some of those smaller tournaments which get like 20 to 50 people, like those might kind of start fading out as people kind of don't want to dedicate, people are already dedicating some days of their week to playing and they're locals or going to a regionals or something. It's one of those things where maybe there's just less tournaments overall. But there's definitely going to still people that play. I think a lot of people, especially overseas, like to compete in these big sort of worldwide events. And a lot of people just really like PTCGO. So, I mean, even if the numbers do end up dropping, and this is probably a year or two from now when everything's kind of back to normal, I don't know. I don't think for a while anything's going to really change, though. Because like Zach said, there's no actual official events, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like if I could put any prediction, I think we're going to start seeing in real life play start up for March 2022.
Right.
Where we left off in March 2020. So 2 years later after that happened, and that's if things continue. I mean, U.S. President Joe Biden announced that by April something that all Americans are going to be eligible for the COVID vaccination. That doesn't necessarily mean that the world is opening back up. Because here in Canada, I have not even been invited. There's no opportunity for me to get a COVID vaccination right now. And we are one of the main countries in the world. So, I mean, I think other countries might struggle as well. I'm actually a really interesting question here. Morningwood for Zach. Why do you have another room in your house that is the mirror opposite of the usual room you stream in? And why did you choose the mirror room today for streaming over the other room? I am so confused. Morningwood, I hope you're okay.
I think it's because like your camera is mirrored the room.
Is this really? I need to fact check this.
Maybe. I'm not sure if that's the case, but I think that's probably what he's meaning.
Maybe my camera mirrors things. Let me just go back to one of my normal videos, like something that I filmed like 2 weeks ago.
Morningwood is a funny guy.
This is I don't know. Am I playing backwards world today?
Maybe you are. Mew Squad, what's going on, man? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in.
That's actually so weird. It has to be something like. It's literally the exact same room. It's just my camera. I guess mirrors on Discord or mirrors on OBS or something when I record.
Yeah, I think that's a setting you can change. But yeah, it's definitely funny. I think it's the camera for sure. But that's definitely funny.
So everyone, these are trophies that I've won, and the other one, those are the trophies that I've won. I'm just that good at Pokemon.
Right, he's got double the trophies, right? Exactly.
Double the trophies, double the room, double the full studio setup. I live in an 18-bedroom apartment. It's kind of broken.
The whole apartment building.
Yeah, I literally own the whole apartment building, and every room is just set up slightly different depending on the. I have my Monday stream, my Wednesday stream, my OnlyFans stream. Jeez.
Your Instagram live stream.
Yeah, my Instagram live.
Jeez Louise, man. All right. I got one question that came in just about the actual game. So they asked, do you think running a one Phoebe might be worth it in Eternatus? If I expect to run in some Luke Metalization, Luke Metal and Zamazentas right in Luke Metal for the deck. Personally, I do think you should run at least one Phoebe. From what I saw, just watching some tournaments and watching some matchups, what's going on, Morningwood? One Phoebe kind of seemed like enough, like in a scenario to where, they go with the Luke Metal, right, obviously, so you take 3 prizes there eventually. And then if they bench a Zacian, so if they bench a Luke Metal and a Zacian, then you're in a position to where you just need one Phoebe to win the game unless you prize it. But even then, you'd have to be the last prize card that you're going to be taking, right? So I think one Phoebe technically should be enough, but we were talking about this recently, Zach, right? So maybe like a Palpad or a Cynthia Caitlin.
So what I did, I actually cut down a boss out of my deck to cut it down to 3 boss because now I play Palpad.
Yep.
So in any matchup, we have it all going. It's all going well. I'm in a matchup where we need Phoebe, like Decidueye, we can get up to 2 times off.
Right.
So it gives you that little bit of wiggle room. I think it sounds pretty cool, but it does help out against Luke Metal in general. Just hold on to that card because you don't want to discard it early. It's going to allow you to win everything.
It's definitely true. I think the Palpad's smart because, like you said, you can kind of bring back the boss or whatever else you might
or
need.
Research or however it works. I think decks. It's certainly helpful. We got a question in here from Joey Davis. I'm interested in casting PTCG. How would you recommend I get into it? I think you need to start talking to people who actually cast for the events, or the events that they cast for. I think they're always looking for extras. I know that Maddie at times is like, hey, I need someone to cast with me for this event. You got to be there, and you got to be open for opportunities.
Right.
There's big opportunities in the game. We saw that Hegster recently got picked up as kind of a community favorite.
Right.
I don't want to be like, I wasn't expecting it, but it's his first time casting an event of that threshold. Yeah. So, it's going to be a super cool opportunity, and I'm really happy for Ethan there. So great job on his behalf. So one thing I'd start, maybe get some experience. So either talking to some organizers or even just starting your own Twitch stream, YouTube. You kind of build up a natural voice to talk when you're talking on these things and you try to speak in a positive way. Pokemon's really looking at that. Look at all the people who have commentated, look at things that they've done correctly and really grow from there. I think that's going to be helpful.
Right. Yeah, I think obviously, like, you need to be pretty knowledgeable about the game. Like, coming from a player's perspective, I think a lot of casters played the game pretty regularly, right? So they kind of know and they keep up to date with it. Hexters is a good example because Ethan was somebody who, like, obviously ran tournaments. Like, that was sort of the main ground point to where people started to recognize him. But what he did, which was really smart, was he always live streamed his tournaments, right? So he casted his own, like, top cuts and things like that. So people, he got that experience being live on stream, casting PTCGO matches, which was really good in smart form, which was probably the main reason, I would think, why he got signed to work with Pokemon for the Players Cup, which is actually probably the best way to do it. I would say, I wouldn't say go start your own tournament series, but like maybe start streaming, and even if you're playing yourself or, something like that. But streaming is definitely the main way, especially now where if you're casting, you're going to be doing it on stream, right?
Well, especially too, like, you don't even have to be the absolute best player in the world. Like, Gazer Beam is my favorite streamer. I think he's the most entertaining streamer that I've watched on Twitch. He's a crazy dude. And he's got some funny jokes and stuff like that. But it's about Pokemon TCG. He's not the best player in the world, but he's entertaining, and he has a stream that's popping off. I'm sure Maddie would love to get someone like Gazer Beam on for one of his streams one of these days because he would just be such a good personality in the game.
That would be sweet.
Right? I would love Gazer Beam. We need to get Gazer Beam on this podcast.
We should get him for the Yellhorn tournament. We should get him to cast with us, man.
I like his 5-minute deck down.
Deck down. He'll deck you down.
He'll deck you down.
That's right.
It's oh my God. I love Gazer Beam.
Gazer Beam's so good.
Oh, man. So one other thing, I do get to all the questions in the chat, or I try to. What are your thoughts on rotation, new cards coming in, and what meta shift do you think we're going to see? So,
I think we need something. We need something to make sure E-Turn doesn't just destroy everybody once rotation happens, because it's still the best deck right now, or one of them at least. And when things rotate, like, I don't know how we're gonna just deal with E-Turn VMAX without like a good counter, personally.
yeah, I think it's one of those things where E-Turn's really good right now. There's a lot of things in rotation that are slow, like our metagame is kind of weird, and we're getting to the point where there's too many worlds colliding, where we have GX Pokemon, we have Tag Team Pokemon, we have VMAX Pokemon, we have all these different kind of cards. I think it's one of those things where Chilling Reign is really going to start the mark of it. For anyone who doesn't know what rotation is, because there's a lot of people who are joining the game lately, especially after a set release, rotation is something that happens every year around late June, early July, where Pokemon rotate some of the older sets just to keep the game a little bit more fresh and get the metagame a little bit more happening. It happens once per year.
Right.
This year, they're going to be cycling out, or should be cycling out, Team Up 2 Cosmic Eclipse, giving us Sword and Shield on. So if you're looking for any recommendations on decks to build, go Sword and Shield on decks, because that's certainly going to be helpful.
Right, and there are some formats now that are some tournaments, right, that run like Sword and Shield on. I think the Tablemon series is one of them that I can think of, which is a fun format, but again, it has its issues because Pokemon isn't gonna, like, if we've only had, like, we haven't had all of the sets that are going to be released yet before rotation happens. So what you'll see, realistically, is in this next set or two, they're going to be releasing a lot of really good staple cards that are going to probably replace a lot of the things that people are playing now, because there's a lot of things that are rotating, and a lot of those things haven't been printed yet. They're not actually in our standard format. So by the time rotation happens, things are going to be very different, but Pokemon knows what they're doing. I mean, by the time rotation happens, the set or the format is going to be a lot different, right? But we'll see. But anyway,
I mean, the Tablemon series is cool. Don't get me wrong. It's also something that feels like a glorified pre-release format, because there's not enough sets available right now to really make like a strong meta call. So it's very basic, but it's going to catch up really soon once Chilling Reign is released. Then it's going to be on par. So we're basically just waiting. It's 150 to 200 cards short of being what the true format's going to be. But it does give you kind of like that little bit like building your collection on the way. So I mean, if you want to get an early start, those are great events to check out. But speaking of events, why don't we dive into it? I don't really want to talk about the Players Cup 3. I think, like, to summarize what the Players Cup 3 is, 16 players left all throughout the globe. We're going to watch that in a couple weeks live. We don't know who's in there, and if we do know anyone who's in there, it's frowned upon to leak to the community, because Pokemon doesn't want us to talk about that. So even though I know the players from North America, I'm not going to talk about that. We're going to see them play Battle Styles decks for the first time as they try to take my title from me. So that's going to be fun. But I still have a few more weeks to be in the Players Cup, the reigning champ. So I'll take those. Moving on to Players Cup 4. That's starting later this month. So, Maddie, do you have any early ideas on it? What do you think about the new cash structure, decks that you think you want to play for it? What's your strategy? Because you went from a player, like, not to throw you under the bus, you didn't qualify, you were close to qualifying. Right. What's the strategy?
Yeah, for sure. Before I get into that, though, real quick, I just want to answer a couple things. Power says, when's rotation? I think it's like near August this time. Things have been a bit different because of the whole pandemic, and things have been kind of pushed back. And then after that, Volatile says, doesn't it happen after World? Yes, but we don't have Worlds this year, right? So that's why things are just a bit different. So I think they're pushing it back. I think it's towards August. I don't know if they have that confirmed yet.
They also changed the way that they lay out the sets. Like, we got Battle Styles, I think, 3 weeks later than we normally do. Right. Maybe we got it a month later than we normally do, because they gave us Champions Path and they gave us Shining Fates.
Right. It pushed everything.
And also Pokemon's 25th anniversary, so promo rollout's going to be really weird. We do have a 25th anniversary set coming up. Right. So there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on, particularly for this year. And I think we might be on more of a global release schedule coming up soon-ish. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah, for sure. So everything's shifted a little bit. Pandemic reasons. I don't know. It's just shifted.
We'll see how it goes. Anyway, for Players Cup 4, for sure, I'd have to think. So the qualification period starts like in the next month or so, right? You said?
I think it starts later this month.
Okay, so that being the case, the format will be the same as it is now, at least with the available cards. Which I think it's going to make things a little bit more interesting. Of course, like if you're playing in the Players Cup qualifiers, like in the pods, and you're trying to qualify, I still think things like E-Turn, Peak, ADP are all going to be really good picks. But however, now I do think that in replace of maybe like a Centiskorch, because Welder, of course, is always a really good option when you're trying to qualify for these tournaments. I think now you have some more options, right? You have Victini, you have Senti still, you got Crycephalon, you've got Mewtwo, Welder, right? Those are all really good picks. But I also think there's Urshifu as well. So overall, I think that there's definitely going to be like probably like 8 or 9 decks that are probably mostly viable, at least to try to qualify with. Me personally, I don't know, right? I think that I'll have to see. I'll have to see where things are going right now. It'll probably be smart to run something that does well against ADP, realistically, just because there's going to be a lot of them.
A lot of players like playing ADP. That's like most of the decks that I hit for every single Players Cup are ADP. ADP is still one of the most played, if not the most played decks for all our events, although the metagame is a little bit more wide open right now. So what I recommend is making sure that you understand your matchups and don't go in with a deck that has a lot of just like flaring weaknesses.
Right, for sure. So that's kind of the big question. Again, I still think E-Turn might be really good. Like, just something like that, or maybe even just think like Rapid Strike Urshifu, right? Maybe you just run the complete perfected version, or mostly perfected version that people have been kind of figuring out recently. So maybe that'll be a good pick. Although I still think that I think it's going to be much more wide open, and there's going to be a lot more viable decks for when you're qualifying. Paul Rodriguez says Galarian Zapdos is a good counter, right, for E-Turn after rotation. He says it removes weakness guards, and in the format with Tool Scrap or Big Charm, it isn't a thing to protect Eternatus VMAX. I mean, I think that Galarian Zapdos is good, of course, against E-Turn VMAX, but the problem is, like, you can't just run that because it has a good E-Turn matchup. Like, it has to be viable to the point where your matchups against other decks as well are good, right? So I do think that it'll be good against E-Turn if it can be incorporated in a way to where, you know, you're consistently doing well in other matchups as well, then maybe it'll be a viable option.
A deck card for certain matchups, like we've seen success with that in some degree. But I mean, at the same time, everyone's going to immediately jump on Galarian Zapdos. As an E-Turn player, you could potentially play around it.
Yeah, you definitely can. Like
a deck to that, the same way that like I was like Pikaram's dead, I was wrong. There was times where we all thought Pikaram was dead. I won the Players Cup 2 with the deck, really bring the deck back. A lot of like E-Turn's probably not going to die, and even if it has one bad matchup, as we've seen, E-Turn does not have a good Urshifu matchup right now. E-Turn's the best deck in the format right now.
Yeah,
because the matchup spread against everything else is so much better. I know Maddie hates to see it. He's like, if one more E-Turns wins my bleep chill events, I'm gonna go. I'm
gonna retire, bro.
Next, I don't know.
I'm gonna do Limitless, where I'm gonna ban it. I'm gonna ban a deck, except it's just not gonna be ADP. I'm just gonna ban E-Turn. Realistically, I've had half of mine for a while to do the thing with Chill Series where I ban for whatever tournament we're on. I ban the deck that won the last tournament.
I would be so upset.
And I would just do that so that now, no matter what, every week, like, we never had a repeat winner, which would help. Like, because imagine like if E-Turn was banned, right? Like, think about.
I would be so upset. That just makes it such a fake metagame. Like,
it is fake. Every week it would be. It wouldn't be real.
Literally just like. Okay, like, you want to know what? I'm gonna go off on a rant.
Yeah.
So for anyone in here who's vegetarian or vegan or something like that, I see y'all trying to eat these like veggie nuggets or like veggie dogs. Why can't you just have vegetables? You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to it, like, why are we trying to make a fake format? Let's just have the real format or no format at all. Like, at that point, I think you just go into like you run the events like Vixen or anything else like that. And you come up with the super crazy. Don't go all the way.
Well, that's
anything.
That's the problem, like, right? Is between the large the amount of the size that our tournaments are every week and the content that we make. It's kind of like we don't really have a choice where it has to just be like normal standard format, because that is the real format. I just wish that I was able to just do something about like E-Turn being so dominant. It hasn't won the last 2 tournaments, which have been Battle Styles legal, which is fortunate enough. But it did make the finals in one of them. I don't know. I could win tonight. I do think E-Turn is the best deck right now. I mean, after just playing it, like I made a video today, Zach, on E-Turn with the Crobats, like we talked about.
You actually did that?
I did that. I don't think it's a good, like, personally, I think it's probably like the 4th or 5th best way to play E-Turn. But it still like is really good. Like, you hit it on the ladder, you just destroy people because you're playing E-Turn. And like the fact is, you can do 270 turn 2 with a Goon Ping and just KO ADP on your second turn, and it's just like half the time that's all you need to do to win games on the ladder. So E-Turn is so good.
Just to answer a few like rapid questions here. New Squad, stop talking about Mad Party. Please stop. How do you qualify for the Players Cup? Endor's asked this like 2-3 times. So it's one of those things where you qualify for the Players Cup by earning tournament rep. All of that is, as long as you're within the top X of your region, top 256 for Latin America, Europe, North America, or top 128 for the Oceania region, which is only Australia and New Zealand. That's how you qualify. It's all outlined on the Pokemon TCG website, the Pokemon website. So just check that out.
Right.
Perfect. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate that. Jay Lesage, my brother, saying, "What's up, yo?"
Jay Lesage.
What about the new Avery supporter as a tech for E-Turn? I think that Avery's cool, but I don't know.
I do want to talk, Zach, about that new. I forget the name of the supporter, but it's like Welder, but worse, but for water types. Do you remember the name of it?
Oh, Water Girl.
Water Girl. Attach 1 energy to your water type Pokemon, draw 3 cards, right? So, the thing is with that, realistically, is I think it could be good, but I think that the card inherently is literally half as good. Like, I think if Welder was just attach 1 and draw 3, like, obviously it might see play, but I don't think it would be nearly as good.
Everyone's like saying Melanie, and they're saying the analogy with the vegans was spot on. Exactly. I just like vegetables. Give me some ratatouille.
That's Melanie.
Give me some eggplant parmesan.
Maloney.
Well, not parmesan, just like some deep fried eggplant bites. Yeah. That sounds amazing. I don't want like
a veggie burger.
Deconstructed, like vomited up vegetable rib shape. Oof. Like that does nothing. Like no, but that's what I'm saying. Like
the McRib.
Like
the McRib.
I don't like burgers that are like from the Walmart box. Like I'm not gonna eat the Walmart burgers. Give me some of those Wagyu sliders for dinner, please.
Wagyu sliders. Yeah, they're saying Maloney. So Maloney is the new supporter.
It's like baloney, but it's Maloney.
Maloney. I think it'll be good. That's a card that I'm hype about, just because.
Thick ice mama.
Yeah. If Pokemon changes to where water type becomes sort of the new dominant energy acceleration, sort of big damage archetype in the game after rotation, and fire decks don't become that, then I actually could be pretty happy. The thing is for me is I don't like fire type decks and I don't like welder decks. Just their very nature of how you play those decks, I'm not a big fan of them. But it might be cool to just do that type of deal, but with water decks. So that could be fun. So I'm pretty actually.
So one thing that I do want to go over, because I think you said that Maloney, pronounced like baloney. Her name is literally like Melogna. Malogna. It's one of those things where I don't think it's a half a welder. I think looking at fire type decks, they don't necessarily have a low energy output. Like they all require like 3+ energies.
Right.
Something for Melanie requires only like a lot of the attack
2 or 3,
require like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm thinking
really
like Lapras.
When you think of we're not playing Lapras Daddy with
Slap Daddy Maloney.
Yeah, we're not playing Slap Daddy Maloney. I'm waiting for the terrible thumbnail for Maddie that's like slap your Maloney.
Pretty funny.
I don't know.
I think like things like Inteleon or even like any other new water type VMAX that takes 2 or 3 energies to attack could be really good. I'm excited. There's also, I don't even know too. We're just getting into some random new cards, but there's a new sort of it's like a Volcanion, but it's
Cresselia.
Psychic. Cresselia. That Cresselia looks hot. The attack isn't as good, of course, but it still has that sort of flare starter.
I think the attack is really good still.
It is, but it does less damage, right? It does like 90.
No, it does it does whatever plus 90.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, it literally is like they literally just gave a psychic type volcano.
Yeah, it's literally volcano. Yeah, I mean I'm excited for that as well, just because think about how good psychic type archetypes are going to become with a starting option like that, right? Like Dragapult might look like a Senti where you're running Giratina, or not Giratina, Jirachis, and then this Cresselia, right? So just no matter what, if you're going first or second, you have really good starting options. Sounds pretty fun to me, to be 100% honest with you. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against that at all.
I like how in this new sort of like post-rotation world, we're going to be just having the same cards but with different typings. Like I think that's actually just pretty interesting to me. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things. I think we're probably going to see like a Venn diagram metagame.
Yeah.
If anyone remembers in school what a Venn diagram, it's like the circle like here, then there's a circle there, and in the middle there's something here. So it kind of makes another third circle. So we're going to have deck A, deck B, deck C, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. I don't know if I can barely do the alphabet. I can barely count. But it's probably going to be like E-turn's going to exist, and as it shifts in the meta, the middle's going to shift as well. And it's going to be one of those things where we're probably going to have a double metagame circle, is exactly what I'm saying. So E-turn beats Shadow Rider Calyrex. Shadow Rider Calyrex beats Rapid Strike.
Right.
Urshifu.
Yeah, we're going to have a...
E-turn. And then on the other side, there's going to be Victini beats Zacian. Zacian beats... And it's going to go into a circle on that way.
Right.
And then it's going to mix in the middle, and that's really where
the power
probably a widespread. That's kind of what the metagame that we're in right now.
Yeah,
except E-turn doesn't have a proper counter.
I think we need to rotate weakness card energy. But I think
we just need like weakness. What's the thing that you put on your
like a
Pokemon?
tool card? Like a tool card. Yeah, that would be hot.
There's a weakness tool card that we've had. Weakness policy is what we've had.
Yeah. We should see weakness. Yeah, we can see a reprint weakness policy.
The energy card sucks. Like, weakness just sucks in Pokemon.
Yeah.
If anyone's watching this, please, maybe for VMAX Pokemon, make weakness ×2 because they're so broken. But for other Pokemon, do not make weakness ×2. Thank you, Matt. Weakness policy.
Yeah, we need. Someone said we need a water type Blacephalon type card. That would be I mean, we have Kingdra, but it's a stage 2. If Kingdra was a stage 1, can you imagine that deck? It would be hot. It'd be pretty sweet. No, I mean, I think you're right. I think that's, and what you were talking about is kind of like the power triangle type deal. And right now, I think we kind of have a decent one, but with a few gaps in it. Like, of course, we have E-turn, which is dark, which is weak to fighting, which is now we have the Urshifus, and then fighting is weak to psychic, which we have like Dragapult, and then psychic's weak to dark. So that's a nice little power triangle there between like E-turn, Urshifu, Dragapult. I just don't think that necessarily they're it's as even between each one of those sections as it should be. And then on the other side, it'd be probably like a grass water fire doesn't actually work, which is weird because
somewhere, like at the end of the day, I'm just saying like there's going to be a bunch of decks.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to work.
Because
we're going to see like maybe like 8 decks that just kind of rotates.
Yeah.
Where they all have different matches. Of course, every deck's going to be built a little bit different.
For sure. What do you think about the Calyrex cards? I'm pretty hesitant.
I think both of them are really good.
I think they're good.
There's one that's literally the same as the other one. The Calyrex. I think the Shadow Rider Calyrex, the Psychic type one, is very similar to Xerneas, which saw a lot of success. I think it was Xerneas Break.
Yeah.
And that card saw a lot of success. Just building up a bunch of energies in play, or decks that build up energies in play like that have seen a lot of success before in the game. So I think we're going to see some success in the future with that card, especially because like it has like half trade, half Malamar built into it.
Right.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind that is one of the best cards.
Those cards are both going to be really good. I think they do have really bad weaknesses, which is probably fine to balance them. But like I feel like they're going to be decently
right now. E-turn has a bad weakness too, right? Like, and it could survive. Like that's what I'm saying. Like decks have to have natural predators out there, right? Otherwise, there's a food chain. Like Like I love all the cute little rabbits when I go on a walk, but if there's no foxes or coyotes out there, then like we're just gonna be overpopulated and we're gonna be riddled with like rodent disease.
I mean, I think E-turn. I think fighting is a bad weakness right now with Urshifus, but like I don't think it's nearly as bad as being weak to dark and being weak to metal. Like realistically, like being weak to Zacian is like there's nothing in the game right now.
You're also in a world where Galarian Zapdos is roaming around as a one of tech. Like decks can get around it. Like right now, I can get through a lot of the Rapid Strike Urshifus I play against with E-turn because I just play weakness guard energy.
Right. But
like sometimes you just need to do stuff and people don't know what to do when you present that option to them. So right now I think the weakness sucks. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Are there going to be ways to get around that or mold your deck a little bit? Time will tell. Also, Chris, what do I think about Nessa's supporter for Lapras deck? That card sucks.
Nessa's not good. It's good in like some sense, but like it doesn't benefit that matchup at all. I mean, it's not a bad card like at all, right? I mean,
it's just like there's just so much. There's not enough time in games. Like people don't get that there's not enough time in games. Like you do not have time to like hitchhike to the win.
Right. It's a late game card, and it takes another turn after that to really make something happen, right? Because you take stuff out of your discard pile.
It'd be bussin'.
Yeah, no, it'd be insane. I think, but the thing is, people are just running like Capacious Bucket and Trading Courts and things like that, and it just kind of eliminates the need to run Nessa. But I think both the Calyrex cards, going back to that, are going to be really good. I don't think that they're going to be like overwhelmingly crazy like E-turn was for a while. I think that they're going to be obviously extremely viable decks, which is good because we need more viable decks like that.
I don't know. Shadow Rider seems so good to me, man.
They're both really good. I'm just saying, like, it's going to bring balance, right? It's going to be up there with some of the best decks in our format, but it's not going to be, like, the only deck that people are running for now.
E-Turn does not have E-Turn literally does not have a built-in trade. It does not have a built-in make do. It does not have a built-in draw 2 cards. Like, every single card that's ever had that ability is instantly good. And I know that you're not saying it's bad. I think you might be underplaying it a little bit.
No, I think it'll be really good. I mean, I'm just saying, like, nothing is going to like, neither of those are going to take over the format like E-Turn did for like the 6 months, just because like they're going to have weaknesses, and they're going to bring balance to the format where we're going to have a lot of decks that are extremely viable. The thing is with E-Turn, like when E-Turn came in, because that's like my benchmark, right? When they released E-Turn, they were like, here's like the best VMAX Pokemon like we've ever made. There's no way for you to beat it, so just have fun, right? It's like, it's going to be different.
I mean, that's fair. You're not wrong.
I think it might be just as good as E-Turn.
Like, what was the set? Rebel Clash sucked. It literally bought Dragapult. They're like, we're hard countering you with whatever the next one is, with E-Turn coming out and Scorch. Then they're like, we're also going to give you a terrible set after that.
And then Colossal.
Then we're going to give you a promo set of Champion's Path, a promo set of Shining Fates. And now we're giving you finally something, like almost a year later.
Well, they gave us Colossal, but Colossal was terrible. So it was just kind of...
I mean, Colossal wasn't that bad. Colossal was good for me.
It wasn't that bad, you're right. But, I mean, it's not E-Turn level, right? You can't be like...
E-Turn.
Yeah, you can't be like, here's E-Turn, and then here's Colossal. Like, like, have fun. Like, there you go. Definitely didn't solve the issue.
What do I think about Weavile, Jackson, Cheryl combo and E-Turn V-Deck? I think it's cool. Probably not as good as a straight-up list. Most straight-up lists are a little bit better than teched-out decks.
Yeah.
Just straight facts. Although, if you are playing in the chill events, not to throw any shade at anyone, but the worse your E-Turn deck looks, the better chance you have of doing well at the events.
Sorry, we did have a Weavile deck. This was even before Cheryl was released. We had an E-Turn Weavile deck win our tournament. We've had Poison E-Turn win a few times. We've had Straight E-Turn win, Disruption E-Turn win. We've had every single type of E-Turn so far win the tournament. So I think that's just a testament to E-Turn.
E-Turn's just viable. Like, E-Turn's viable. Although, like, I've done the best with Rose E-Turn and Maddie's tournaments out of all the E-Turn decks.
Rose E-Turn? I mean, Roti's...
The best E-Turn decks, like, I can make top 8, top 4 at a GG Tour event with E-Turn.
Yeah.
When it comes to Chill TCG, the dumber the tech, the better I do.
It's true.
It's facts. Play the worst E-Turn list tonight, and you will do very well.
Factoid, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I also had somebody ask is Delmise viable. The answer is no, because it's weak to fire, and it's a Rillaboom deck, so you rely on stage 2s to kind of set it up. So not viable.
You also have to play Mew.
Huh?
The stage 2 decks also have to play Mew.
True, exactly. You have to play Mew in your deck. It's just not... It can be good. Like, if it works perfectly, like, it's not a bad deck at all. It's just super inconsistent compared to, like, I'm just going to welder 2 on to Victini in one turn, and now I'm just hitting for 220. One-shotting you. Like, it's a different league, you know what I mean? It is a cool Pokemon, but it's never... I don't think it's ever going to be... what we really need is like a grass type welder card as well.
Yeah, types are not all built differently. Types are not all built everything.
They're not equal, man.
Equally, yeah, exactly. I can't even speak. I mean, I've been streaming, I've been coaching. I actually haven't even had a chance to eat anything today.
Oof.
I just ordered like $100 worth of Chinese food from Uber.
Let's get it.
Awesome.
Let's get
Shout out to my non-sponsor Uber. Uber, if you're watching this,
sponsor.
Send me Uber credits. Sponsor us. Sponsor Yellhorn, brought to you by Uber.
Uber Eats. Yeah.
Peter Bagley, where's my boy the Sableyes? Where's Mitch? Mitch is in Australia. I think he's putting together some furniture or something like that.
He might be sleeping right now. I don't even know what time it is in Australia. Unfortunately for us, because last week we weren't able to do it. I wasn't available at the time we were going to do it. Because last week I think we were going to be doing it late at night. It was like 10:30 we were going to be doing it.
Yeah, which worked well for the time exchange.
Right.
For the time. But that's only because Maddie was doing just Swiss Phase 1.
Right.
Because it was a special 2-day event.
Tonight we're ending at 2 a.m.
Yeah, there's no way that I don't wake up at 6 a.m. There's a better chance that I'm going to bed at 6 a.m. than waking up at 6
I agree 100%. So unfortunately, like, he wasn't able to make it this week. Maybe like in the future we can set something up and kind of get it working. Because I would love to have Mitch on, and we haven't had a really we had a lot of really good guests.
Awesome guests, but we haven't had a guest in a minute that's like Mitch recently just hit 10K subs on YouTube.
Right.
Definitely would be one of the bigger guests that we've had on this channel. I mean, we did have Wolfie on our channel. which was huge.
Wolfie was sweet.
One of those things, like when it comes to Pokemon TCG, beyond LDF, he would definitely be the next one up. I mean, we have reached out to players like Azul. Azul doesn't necessarily want to be on our podcast right now.
Where's Imposter? So, morning, what's his? Where's Imposter LDF?
Imposter LDF. Imposter LDFs. They're in the attic.
Yeah, they're hiding. Yeah, they're somewhere playing Crobat VMAX.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe playing Inteleon, the non VMAX one. What deck is easiest to learn that can also stomp the meta?
E-turn. E-turn. Oh, I mean,
E-turn
ADP is fine, but it's...
E-turn could literally be a theme deck. It just costs more.
It is. Well, E-turn's the deck where you literally go, I'm going to play this down, I'm going to put this down, I'm going to attach the energy, and I'm going to pass. And then you just do that every turn, and you're like, oh, look, I'm doing...
You're like, turn 1, boom, attach energy. Turn 2, attack, knockout, bang, bang, bang. And you just like throw cards and bash your head against the table until your opponent has nothing left, and you're like, wow, I suck at Pokemon, but I won the game.
There's
like literally E-turn.
You can build an E-turn list. You can build an E-turn list that you could give to like a 4-year-old who doesn't know what he's doing, and he's just putting cards on the table and just winning because like
and you're like, and the judge is standing there and they're like, you can't have 9 Pokemon on your bench, and they're like
400 damage.
Like exactly, they're like, you're knocked out. I don't even know how to count yet. And that's literally what E-turn does. You don't need to count. You continuously, mindlessly like play things down. You just vomit cards out of your deck, and usually the deck will not fail you. As long as your opponent's not hitting those, as long as they're not hitting the juiciest crushing hammers, it's such a great deck to play.
Yeah, hammers. I mean, if hammers didn't exist, I fear of what E-turn might look like, because in ADP, I mean, to be fair, the only real counters to those decks, now we have Urshifu, but the only real counter if you're not hitting for weakness to those decks is literally just hammer, because both of them just rely on attaching turn after turn and winning.
Yeah,
it's pretty sad. I think E-turn's easier to play than ADP personally.
Everyone, other people will. I got into some arguments with some tournament organizers, wink wink, for saying how bad I was with E-turn. I see everything that's going on in those group chats. Now that we're all good, it's better to go second with E-turn, everyone, unless you're in a terrible matchup. Just throwing that out there. You want to go Power Accelerator first. It helps you so much.
Do you want to do that with ADP? Yeah, you do want to go second with ADP, you're right.
With what? With ADP?
I mean, going against ADP.
You want to go second in general for the most part. Unless you're going first. You want to go first against like fighting type decks.
True.
So you get the first attack
True.
off on
Yeah,
them.
that's true.
Dominate.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking of, because there is obviously a distinct advantage of if you do get to attack first, like especially hitting for 270. Like there's obviously some matchups where that might be beneficial, but for the most part, going second, if you go second and get Power Accelerator off, like there's such a higher chance of you winning the game. It's like insane, and they kind of knew it too. They were like,
in the front and energy in the back.
Yeah,
they don't know that out. Then you got double E-turns powered up for next turn, and you're just like, cool. I just go on autopilot mode.
It's like Pokemon.
Boss orders that up.
It's like Pokemon made E-turn VMAX. They were like, this is busted, and then someone was like, what about Crushing Hammer? You know, they were like, Crushing Hammer beats this, and they were like, oh, okay, well, let's just fix that, and let's just give them Power Excel for a colorless energy.
Some of our viewers here have to be religious. If Adam gave a rib, E-turn is the whole skeleton that it is.
Dude.
Like, it's built different.
It is built different. The fact, I was talking with Logan, I think the other day, or was it you maybe? The fact is that E-turn has 340 HP. Like, not 320, not 330. For some reason, they were like, let's just give it 340. Yeah. Because half the things in the format...
little sprinkle, right?
Yeah, you're like sure, like yeah, Urshifu hits for 150. Like if E-turn had 320 HP, it would be maybe half as good right now in the format.
It's like it's like it was in a baby in a belly, just like it went to 10 months in the term. It just had an extra little bit of time to grow.
Dude, I don't know why they did it. They were like, let's just give it an extra 20 HP and
2 energy attack cost. Yeah, that seems normal.
2 energy 270 on a 340 HP Pokemon.
Then you have other Pokemon that are like, you got Rapid Strike that's like, yeah, I can do 120 for 3 twice.
Yeah.
That's 240 for 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Yeah, no, right. No, you have no. The real thing is like, you have Toxtricity VMAX, Zach. You have Toxtricity VMAX, which is like, I hit for 220 for 3 energies if they're poisoned. Like that's if they're poisoned and for an extra energy. Yeah, it's bad, man. I don't
Yeah,
know.
E-Turn's just a whole different level. So I mean, kind of like I know we were talking about the Players Cup. Right now, I'd say stay tuned for Maddie and I. We both put out a recent meta forecast for basically the top decks for this format right now. I think if you pick any of the top decks, you're probably fine. I think anything right now in the top 10 is acceptable for the Players Cup. Don't go on tilt, everyone. It's probably a good idea. Just don't go on tilt.
Yeah, like me. Don't go on tilt and lose with Orbital 3 times in a row. It's just not
There's
going to
so many
be...
times I would like jump into a Discord call. Maddie's like, "Hey, yeah, by the way, I'm playing in the Players Cup." I'm like, "That's cool, man." He's like, "Yeah, I just lost 3 tournaments in a row because I keep on playing and queuing up, and he kept losing to the same decks." And I'm like, "You're insane."
I'm just playing Beetle, bro. I just wanted that one win.
If you're 4 o'clock in the morning playing or Beetle for the Players Cup,
You're not
probably not.
You're not doing it. I'll tell you what though, every pod matters. Like you got to actually take it seriously, because I was in this position where I started trying, and like I took it seriously in the last like 20 keys, like my last 20 pods, and I did extremely well. Like I definitely would have qualified easily if I had just played like that the whole time. But like the fact is that I played those 2 or 3 tournaments with Orbital and just got knocked out turn 1. Like that was the difference probably between me qualifying and not. So it's...
Yeah, exactly. If you didn't make a few of those rookie mistakes at the beginning, you definitely could have qualified. But you want to know what? That's what it takes, and it's a learning experience. So if you were a player who did not qualify for the PC3, I mean, I've covered a lot of content on my channel about like how you can improve, how you can qualify top decks. I plan on covering the same kind of material while I cover some of my PC content, my run, talk about it. But as long as you keep yourself on track, you're playing the correct decks. You're not playing when you're on super tilts. Realize when to call it a day. Realize when you have to play a few tournaments and get yourself motivated to play Pokemon. Those are going to be some solid tips going into the PC4. Why don't we talk about the team challenge for a little bit?
I don't know much about Team Challenge. Like I've never kept a date up with it. I don't even know like exactly how it works. I apologize, by the way. My stream is buffering because I'm also uploading a video right now, and I'm on a Discord call. My internet's terrible, so I just apologize for everybody who's seen the stream be laggy right now. But you go in with Team Challenge, yeah.
Yeah. While Maddie's looking like and all lagging and all that stuff, we'll talk about Team Challenge. So, Team Challenge 1 right now. Anyone asking for some nicely priced code cards? So Maddie and I are both sponsored by code card sponsors. So Maddie's gonna say use what code Chill TCG?
Huh? Yeah, it's
right.
Chill TCG at Card Cavern. Yeah.
Chill TCG at Card Cavern. I'm code Lesage 5 at PTCGO store. So those are going to be 2 different things. Definitely competing against each other. But I think their main kind of goal where they unify is where they both want to get people some codes online at a great price.
Yeah.
So if you go to either one of those stores, you could totally pick some up there.
Yeah.
Whoever you want to support Maddie, whether you want to support me, PTCGO store, Card Cavern, however it works. Look at the prices, determine what's best, and they can have their own competition after that.
Because that's the thing. It's always good to have like multiple options when you're looking to buy stuff, because depending on which website you go on, whether it's PTCGO store or Card Cavern or any of these other websites, like they're gonna have different prices for different codes and different products. So it's always good to have. Right? Yeah, so it's good to have the option, because like price might be better for like this set codes on this website than the others. So you kind of have to.
Like that. You might even go to Card Cavern and someone already bought up all their codes. Or you might have went to PTCGO store and they bought up all the Battle Styles codes, using our discount codes, and then you go to the other one. I mean, whether you want to support the Yell Horn, whether you're here to support me, whether you're here to support Maddie, I mean, I think we're both, like we said, both similar subs and all that good stuff. I would totally just check out and see exactly which one's better price, which one works better for you.
For sure.
But yeah, for the team challenge, you're definitely going to need some code cards. Pick some up from either store. So right now we're in the top 128 global stores. My store, Torchlight Games, actually made it. So we're part of the top 128. It's going to be pretty cool. We're playing against a store from Texas this week.
It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
We have my girlfriend, Michelle, who's also on my team. She had a kind of discussion on Discord with our team members on the decks that we want to go in with. A strategy that I don't see a lot of stores going in with is having a solidified team effort matchup spread with your decks. So I think having the person who's the person who you decide who's going to sit out the week, give them a solid deck, because you could sub them in right away.
Right.
So maybe give the person who's sitting out a Decidueye deck. Not a lot of decks play counter to that deck. or give them something like a Luke metal deck. Not a lot of decks have counters to those. So if you end up hitting the correct matchup spread, it might be worthwhile to just give them one of those decks. Probably always running with an ADP. There's a lot of teams that I've run into, they don't pack a single ADP. ADP has one of the best matchup spreads, and it could probably win 2 out of the 3 games every single time. So if you want to talk about having a good opportunity about advancing on from top 128 to top 64, pack an ADP. E-Turn, same thing. E-Turn has a really good matchup spread right now. You probably win 2 out of the 3 games automatically. And again, you get to choose your decks out of your players who you submit your 4 decks.
Right.
Because you choose 3 players, you could definitely choose a good matchup spread out of the 4 decks. So just make sure that you think about that portion. It's probably a little bit more important than playing the games in the game. Because you could just be the person that ends up with the poor matchup spread.
Right. So you want to prep. You want to make sure you're bringing the right decks for the right matchups in the right scenarios, which I think is a big part of it for sure with Team Challenge. And there is no excuse why you shouldn't be able to, right? Because people have to be on their own accounts, but again, like you said, you can trade stuff over, and you can make that all happen for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I could build every single deck. Maddie stopped downloading porn during the stream.
Yeah, that's my bad.
That's exactly what Maddie's doing. Since I'm a bigger guy, my file for the OnlyFans is a little bit bigger. So Maddie's currently downloading a file that's so large. I'm like a 500 terabyte cloud.
What I'm downloading is like the VR stuff, like the 3D VR.
The 3D VR Zach experience.
Right. Exactly.
If you're one of the channel members on YouTube, you might be able to get access if you ask nicely. But only if you become a channel member right now. Or you can toss a dono, whichever works best.
Whichever works.
I'm fine with either.
We're going to have to...
I actually like the channel members because I just hope that no one's card declines when it goes,
right.
when it goes over. That's what I'm praying for. I don't even care about chill. I'm just hoping that none of your cards decline when it comes to re-up for the channel membership each month.
True. We should wrap this up soon, though. Check-in is just now opening for Chill Series number 26 tonight, so I got to go make sure everything's in order, and I got to, put some announcements out and get that all wrapped up. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. If anyone has any questions, maybe put them in either one of our Discord servers, and then you get asked for next time. Or I know that I'm going to be streaming tonight. I know that Maddie is going to be active as a tournament organizer, and he seems to have so much time in his world that he can answer so many people. Definitely one of the community pillars and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where, you want to what? Let's call it a wrap. I mean, I've had a busy day. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to eat lunch or breakfast today, and I've been coaching and streaming for the past since I woke up at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So
for sure,
it's been a long day, and I am starving. So let's call it a wrap here. And where's the link for those here to your YouTube channel? I'm glad I found it. Masked Darkest. If you go to any description that is not the Yell Horn, you could find access to my Discord server. You can also find it in the community posts. And for Maddie's, you could find that on the Limitless websites.
True.
Play it. So if someone wants to toss a link in the chat for either the Discord for both of us, I'm sure most people will have access to it. That'd be awesome.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Before we go, we got to let you guys know about GG Tour. Now, GG Tour is the premier online esports tournament organization. They run PTCGO events once a month, as well as events for a bunch of other games. So if you're a gamer, if you like to play online games competitively, whether that's, World of Tanks or Team Tower Defense or like, I don't even know, Auto Chess. I don't even know what tournament. I think they run tournaments for everything. Or Pokemon TCG. It's definitely, it's definitely a good option to go check out GG Tour at ggtour.com. Also, go check out the Chill TCG Cup number 5, which is coming up actually on the 17th, which is going to be $1,000 prize pool free entry for this huge, massive PTCGO tournament. It's going to be super, super hype. And definitely look out for that for sure. So big shout out to GG Tour. Again, that's just ggtour.com. Go check them out. All right. Let's wrap up the official recording right now. Boom. There it goes. Okay. All right. Well, I'm super busy. I know this one wasn't super long, guys, and I apologize. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. It's always nice to have people every week coming in here, hanging out. It's always very, very nice. Yeah, I appreciate it. I got to make some announcements.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm also gonna hang out and vibe out. I know that I'm gonna get some food, but maybe next week or maybe in the next upcoming weeks, Maddie and I can finally talk some details about our upcoming Yellhorn events.
Mm-hmm.
And we brought it back. We talked about it like maybe about a month ago. We still have it. We've
It's coming.
been quietly